Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Tyler Smith. He is a physical therapist and Ironman finisher. We'll learn from him how to train not just for strength, but for deeper purpose and lasting visibility. We'll learn about his warrior and poet mindset, and we'll learn about intention, resilience, and meaning new ways to optimize your health, relationships, and personal growth. Welcome to the show, Tyler.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Tyler. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. I named some of the things. We'll talk about training, body, mind, and also for purpose. We'll learn all this. But before that, let's learn a bit about your journey, your background, so that the audience knows who they are listening to, Tyler.
Sure. What would you like to know? Where do you want me to start?
Start from where it should be started.
All right. Well, born and raised in Santa Monica, California. So just west of Los Angeles. So I've always been a ocean kid, beach kid. And from there, I grew up playing ice hockey of all things. So that's what got me interested in athletics early on and sports performance and that kind of stuff. Wrestled 2 years in high school as well, where I got a lot of my mental resilience and toughness. And I wanted to pursue ice hockey as, thing in college to play Division I. So I took a couple years off after high school, lived in Idaho for 2 years playing junior ice hockey. And then I went to University of Denver, got injured in that interim, had physical therapy, and then kind of really just respected the physio that I had and the skill set and the understanding of the mind, the body, the interaction between health and all those kind of holistic aspects of recovery and rehab. And so that set me on that physical therapy journey. And then in San Diego State, I got my doctorate in physical therapy. And then I worked as a travel physical therapist in Northern California. And then I went up to Washington State, where I work currently as the lead physical therapist for the Human Performance Optimization Team at Camp Murray, Washington with the Air National Guard. So I work for the military as a civilian contractor, taking care of their chronic knee, back, all these kind of issues that they're having throughout their training life cycle to keep them healthier for longer. So I have a good understanding of the body and how to train for performance, and then as well as just longevity. And then I've kind of realized throughout my own fitness journey that I was always kind of chasing these different milestones at a very individualistic level in terms of I want to do a marathon. Like you mentioned, I want to do an Ironman. And then I kind of realized at a certain stage that I was just chasing these individual pursuits and there wasn't a lasting legacy or community that I was building, which late 2023, early 2024 sparked the idea of now my passion project, the TriumFit Challenge, about getting people to do hard things together, to give back philanthropically, and to kind of honor the legacy of our ancestors that have tried so hard to get us days of rest throughout the calendar year through our federal holidays. So I can speak more to that in a minute.
Absolutely. Tyler. So to understand from it, you did a lot of good things, big things, and for a lot many things. From a simple person's perspective, how should they understand what is it that you are trying to do? What is it that you are trying to achieve? What is it that you are trying to do at TriumFit?
Yes, 100%. I think that's so important to think back to our vision, the big picture that we have in our minds of what the company can be and should be. And I would like one day to have the TriumFit Challenge be synonymous with something like the Murph workout, where across military bases or CrossFit gyms all across the country, every Memorial Day, there's a workout titled the Murph, which is in honor of Michael P. Murphy, who passed away in 2005 in Afghanistan. And his favorite workout was a push-up, pull-up, squat challenge. And there's, hundreds of thousands of people that do this workout every year across the world. And so I would like I have 5 absolutely unique challenges, and then 2 that I kind of piggyback off of that already exist that I've added a little bit of a twist to. So all in total, the TriumFit Challenge encompasses 7 charity events a year. You buy entry tickets. You can complete these anywhere in the world. And then I donate 50% of the profits to a relevant organization. So it's everything from Martin Luther King Jr. through Veterans Day on the calendar. So that would be MLK, that would be Cesar Chavez Day, Memorial Day Murph, a Juneteenth event, 4th of July, a September 11th, and then a Veterans Day event. So I would like those challenges to become, very well recognized. I would like there to be little TriumFit communities all across the country that get people together to do these hard things, and then have that very charitable aspect and giving back connected to this whole thing. So that's the ultimate vision, like thousands of people doing these to honor the hard work that people did to get us these days of rest.
Absolutely. From an individual's perspective, how should they understand? What is it that you want them to do? Do you want them to have resilience? You want to have them fitness, or you want to have them to have purpose? What is it that you want them to have, and which comes first, as per you?
Yeah, I think that is a huge question because the continuum of health matters a lot. So I think it's completely normal to initially pursue fitness endeavors potentially for vanity and vanity alone. You want to have the six pack by the summer, and you want to have all these kind of vanity metrics. I think that's usually where most people enter the scene in fitness. They want to look good naked. That's exactly what most people are trying to achieve. And then you kind of move, I think, from the vanity to potentially the performance aspect, where you start eating better and you start training harder, and you have maybe goals in the sense of there's certain races that you're trying to do, like you want to do a marathon in a certain time, or you want to do a triathlon, or you want to do the local 5K. It can be on any spectrum that you want. And I think then, so you go from vanity's sake, to then performance, to do well in an age group category on a specific race of some kind or competition. And then I think the ultimate transition is to move from performance alone to purpose, and to then creating legacies within your community of building social connections. So you're not just like I had been over indexing on my fitness metrics. If you think of life as a game and you have certain, skill points for every category, I had been over indexing on the fitness aspect to the detriment of relationships and, community building and, starting a family and those kind of things. So I think that's the kind of normal trajectory that most people are experiencing, is vanity, performance. But I would like people that join TriumFit to have that longer term vision of one day training for purpose, and to give back to those around them in the community that need help, and to just see their community thrive through the vibrancy of feeling better through fitness.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Tyler, I want to understand. A lot of people, they will say, Tyler, I'm already doing some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you are actually telling me? Should I look at my fitness? Should I look at my purpose? I get confused. How do I get started? How is your things that you are doing, is different than what I'm already doing? How would you like to tell them, especially on the getting started part of, what you are trying to do at TriumFit? How do you explain them?
That's a great thing. Yeah, how to differentiate what I'm doing from everybody else. I think the unique thing about TriumFit is there is more of the understanding of the history of the challenges, right? So, for instance, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I did some history and research about what his exact legacy was. And so, in 1965, he did a march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, for the Voting Rights Act in for African Americans. And so he did a 54-mile march essentially in 5 days. And so through the TriumFit Challenge, I call it Selma to Montgomery tribute, we do 54 miles in 54 hours. So that could be a run or a walk. That's gold division. Silver division would be a 54-mile bike in 5.4 hours. So I think the differentiating factor of TriumFit is there's a purpose behind what the challenge is even. So if you're a fan of history, you would get benefit out of TriumFit because I'm now connecting the past and these things that have kind of led us to where we are today into a purposeful physical challenge. So it's, if you're struggling to do anything and you don't, have a good community of people to do these things with, or you don't understand why you want to go to the gym and do 100 push-ups and that's not motivating to you, maybe the history tie-in of TriumFit would then spark some interest to do these things. And there's online leaderboards, and the purpose behind all these people doing these challenges is I want to record what their time to complete these challenges is year after year. So you can say, oh, I signed up for TriumFit in 2025 and I hit, let's say, 46 hours on my MLK tribute. And then when I do it next year, if I can beat that time and do 45, hours or 40 hours, if I, go faster or train harder, then I can see that I'm getting that tangible fitness improvement year after year. So it's a kind of a different way to track our fitness through kind of the fun historical challenges and online leaderboards, and maybe more meaningful than just looking at your body fat percentage, right? To see, oh, there's a dashboard for how much donations that we gave through TriumFit as a community as well. So if you're more driven by the philanthropic side, then you can see the tangible impact in the world that my company is initiating through these 7 charity challenges a year. So that's probably the most differentiating factor, is the historical component, and then again the impact of doing our fitness together as a group.
Absolutely. You call yourself that you want to be a weaver of people who train. Explain this a bit for the audience.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a good tagline, that I want to be a weaver of people that train for purpose, that train for, virtue, not just VO2 in a sense, right? So it's not just a physical task that I want you to complete. I want you to think bigger than that and to think about what your purpose is, because for so much of my life, I had been training without a philosophy of living, as I call it. I had just been doing these things for myself and myself only. And then I experienced a massive amount of fitness burnout, as they would call it, where I couldn't even drag myself to the gym if I wanted to. I just had no motivation at all to train, because I had been training for maybe 3-4 hours a day to hit a certain milestone in terms of a mile time and a squat goal at the same time. And I just couldn't, bear to get to the gym or put the treadmill on any kind of pace to do the workouts. So I was trying to save myself from myself with TriumFit in a lot of ways from fitness burnout. And so I'm looking for other people that are interested in that community aspect of it. I go to Spartan races, I do some of these online events, and you see the amount of people willing to help each other overcome an obstacle and these kind of things. And it's just really beautiful to see on race day. So I'm looking for other people that are interested in doing that, where they can uplift other people that are struggling in their fitness and give them a reason to go out and train. I'm trying to start, free training camps in the Tacoma area in Washington, where we make it essentially a collaborative game aspect, where we're doing like a icebreaker or conversation game. We're doing a workout. We're having, a nostalgic 90s snack and drink kind of combination as well, where I'm going to bring like Gushers and Capri Sun and those, like, just make fitness more of a fun endeavor than just something that's always difficult to do. And I think there's a big benefit to bringing other people alongside with us, because it makes it, more enjoyable in the long run.
Right, Tyler. So let's understand it this way. What are the challenges you are facing in the things that you are trying to achieve? How is the
100.
response?
Yes, it is challenging to get people initially on board, because I think just the first year that I was doing these things, they were pretty intense. So the first year I did the Martin Luther King tribute, I did the 54 miles in 14 hours. So I ran 34 miles, and then I walked the last 20. And so people would see that I would do these things, and they'd be like, I could never do what you're doing. So that's why I kind of tweaked it to have a silver and gold division, where you can kind of challenge yourself where you currently are in your fitness journey, because I've been doing fitness pretty consistently since my early 20s, at least. So I'm maybe further along than a lot of other individuals. So I think the initial hurdle, that when people look at the challenges that I had, was they're just way too hard, and there's no way that they can potentially see themselves doing what I've been, trying to do. So I think scaling it down is going to help a lot, but a lot of it just comes to marketing and getting myself out there, and trying to get the word of mouth basically from people that have done the challenges. And if they can film themselves doing it, then I could get tagged on social media, and the thing can kind of grow organically. But as of right now, I think the biggest challenge has just been the intimidation factor of TriumFit essentially, and what the challenges might entail, and people not thinking that they can get there quite yet. But I think through scaling, and I'm just interested in pushing the limits. So hopefully people that see the things won't necessarily, force themselves to finish if they can't, but I'm just trying to get people to start, just see how far can you go and walk in 54 hours. Like, that's just, why not try? It's an interesting thought experiment. Martin Luther King did it in 5 days. Can you do it in 4 days? Like, who knows? You don't know until you try. So I think if we have more of a curiosity driven mindset, that would improve our ability to conquer our own limits than just thinking about an objective success or fail metric of like, I did not or did complete the task.
Right. So one more thing is that especially the youth, you want them to bring outside. A lot of people are busy with AI and social media.
Mm.
How would you want? What is the message that you would want to get to them, especially the young people who, for whom they're just starting their life?
Yeah, I think we do live in an age of distraction, and maybe that's the other difficult aspect with TriumFit is, it could be hard to in this attention economy really bring someone in with these purpose-driven ideas when everyone just wants that quick hit of dopamine kind of immediately, right? We live in a very comfort crisis era where we have on-demand, Uber Eats and DoorDash and all these things, right? So trying to capture the attention of a young audience can be fairly challenging. That's another big difficulty, I think. But good things take time, and I think the more users that participate in challenges and see the benefit of doing hard things and the endorphin rush that comes with it, I think the more the movement can grow, because there's always going to be a certain subset of the population that wants to get out in nature and do hard things. And if you can make it a social event as well, I think that's going to be huge. Gen Z, is an interesting generation in the sense that I think the community and in-person thing is going to make a big resurgence, because so much of COVID and the post-COVID infrastructure was built for remote work and all these kind of, remote jobs and remote schooling and all these kind of things. And we're always going to want to have a big social component as a species. We're very wired for that, I would say, the average individual. So I'm just trying to turn that fitness movement into more of an in-person little community where you can have fun, do hard things together, and then progress and see that triumphant abilities expand worldwide.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to connect with you, learn more from you about all the things, good things that you are doing. What is the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, 100%. If anyone wants to follow along or message me, the easiest way is probably through my Instagram. So that'd be at TriumFit_challenge. So TriumFit_challenge. It's a play on the word triumphant fitness challenge. So triumphant just being victorious in a contest or competition and to do something hard. So that's where the word comes from. So you can find me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest place. You can DM me there. The website is triumphantchallenge.com. That's kind of the main hub for the next featured challenge, the leaderboards, and some of those training plans if you want to progress towards doing these in-person events. So shoot me a message on Instagram. You can even email me. That would be triumphantchallenge@gmail.com. If you have any other questions or how you can start up your own TFC club in your local area. I've got a game board or like a card game in the works, essentially, for how I can get the marketing out as well. But yeah, I'd be curious to hear anyone else's ideas of how they would want to get involved, or if you want to be an affiliate for TriumFit and get paid to get people to sign up for events, that would be amazing as well. So open to any ideas, but triumphantchallenge.com is the main hub.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks, AJ. Appreciate you.